These days, you're as likely to see fur being worn on the high street as you are in the high fashion houses of Paris or Milan. It's a product that lasts a lifetime and has a truly luxurious feel. It regularly features in the work of over 400 top fashion designers, and increasingly it's used by interior designers too. It's a global trade made up of thousands of smaller and family-run farms, craftsmen and women, manufacturers, dressing companies, cooperatively owned or publicly floated auction companies, and retailers. The auction houses like these in Copenhagen or Helsinki are busier than ever, satisfying the growing demand in the new markets like China and Russia, as well as the traditional markets of Europe, North America and Japan. And it's to places like this that each fur farmer sends his or her produce for grading, sorting and sale. At this family-run farm in Denmark, they naturally keep an eye on the prices the pelts will make in the market, but the focus here is firmly on welfare. Like all breeders, they need to make sure their animals are 100% healthy and happy too. It's in no one's interest to raise animals in poor conditions. Jorma's farm in the northernmost part of Finland has been in his family for 3 generations. It's tough work. For most of the year, the thermometer sits at around -40. But he says it's rewarding and he wouldn't do anything else.
It's not in our interest to have unhealthy or unhappy animals. The better they are looked after, the higher the price we get for them.
Eläinten hyvinvointia ei ole myöskään tarhaelinkeinon eikä tarhayrittäjän hyvinvointia.
Each animal has to have free access to water and is fed twice a day on a mixture of grain, fish and meat. And every day too they get fresh straw in their nesting boxes and are given constant health checks. Jorma also farms fin raccoon. In a region like the Arctic Circle, it's important to diversify and meet changing consumer demands. He thinks the extensive laws that govern the farming of all animals are essential and has no complaints with the extensive legislation that govern the industry. Using modern breeding methods and making sure the animals are well looked after in cages that meet strict regulations ensures that the highest possible standards of care are maintained. And the fur trade itself has introduced the Origin Assured label, which tells consumers that the fur they're buying comes from producers like Jorma, producers in countries where recognised standards and regulations are in force.
If the animal health is fine, so the farmer is fine also.
For Jorma, animal welfare is at the heart of everything he does, as it was for his father and grandfather too, because he knows his livelihood depends on how well his animals are treated. In this business, there's no room for cutting corners when it comes to care.